welcome to another video on Insurgency modded maps for Insurgency Sandstorm. I have to clarify there. First map we're going to be talking about in this episode is Insertion. And Insertion is a map which takes place on an island. So Sandstorm, when it came out, every map was basically just sand, or just like hills and sand, right? Which makes sense. I mean, it takes place in the Middle East, especially with the new assets that came in to Sandstorm in, I think, the past couple of years. They've added new assets that really let you make these more green, more jungly maps, which is always a nice welcome. So yeah, you can see these trees definitely look very nice up here. And a lot of different buildings. You can see in these checkpoint maps, we're just kind of racing through everywhere. So it's not the greatest showcase of what the interior architecture and stuff looks like, but you can definitely tell that, yeah, there's a interesting mishmash of the kind of more Middle Eastern Arabic stuff. And the one thing I will say is, being a island, I did expect there to be a little bit more water, and I don't think you ever really get to the beach as part of the normal route in this checkpoint game mode. But still, I do really like the vibe. I think it goes great with the checkpoint kind of bot slaughter that we keep talking about here in these videos. One thing I will compliment, nothing about this map in particular, is the medic mod. Definitely adds a new dimension to these kind of co-op maps. Adds a bit of teamwork, adds a bit of, you know, flair to the gameplay loop. And I think it fits in a co-op shooter. Definitely would change up the formula a bit for versus, but for co-op, definitely fits. Definitely fits. All right, so Redwood. This map is infamous for me because if you watch any Sandstorm content and you're hooked into the algorithm in that way, you're going to see a lot of these videos with these clickbait thumbnails. I think some of them even have the RTX logo on them. They're like, oh, this game, you won't believe this game. It's crazy. They got this 4K Ultra HD, amazing future of gaming. And it's literally just Insurgency Sandstorm with this map, which I think this map is basically an asset flip. Someone made this map as an example, I guess, showing off their skills or showing off a lot of Unreal Engine assets, and then everybody and their mom decided to port it into their favorite game that had a level editor. It definitely feels like you're playing through a tech demo of some sort, which is great. I mean, you know, that's the point of these custom maps, right? They don't have to come with the game. One thing that I have to note here is that you can see on screen, this map looks absolutely bonkers on my end for some reason. I think it's the shadows, my shadow quality or my shadow settings maybe. Something with the shaders, I don't know, but everything looks kind of glitchy and not quite right. I don't blame the map at all. It's definitely something on my end, but yeah, you can definitely tell that this map would not work in PvP. There's no visibility. It is just terrible. Maybe, I don't know, as an armor map or something, but definitely not as a Sandstorm map in my opinion. Still, I thought it was pretty fun and unique to run through. The spawns, surprisingly, are set up pretty well, so nothing terrible there. Some of the later indoor points are definitely wonky with that, you know, when you have these crowds of bots rushing you, but that may not be the fault of the map. It may be the fault of the server, the mods, whatever. Still, fun scenery. Always good to have some visual eye candy. And because it was a forest map, I definitely had fun using a bolt-action rifle in it. This port is Willamette Parkview Mall. And if you've played this game, you immediately might be surprised to find it in Sandstorm. Why is that? Well, it comes from Dead Rising, which for those of you who don't know, is a zombie game, first of all. And it mostly focuses on melee combat. So how does it even fucking work as an Insurgency map? I don't know, but it does. I guess it doesn't matter if they're using teeth or guns. Like, swarms of enemies, it still works, right? Still fits. Anyways, according to the mod page, this map was ported directly from the 2006 game, which I find really strange. I don't know if it's the combination of the engine's new lighting, of the shaders. The best way I can describe it is that the interior sections look like a modern game made in 2020, but the exterior sections look like they were made in 1995. Like, seriously, Super Mario 64 level. I'm not trying to BM the author in any way, by the way. He did an excellent job porting this map. I don't know how he got the interiors to look so good. It's extremely sus to me. Let's just say that. That being said, the gameplay is smooth. Everything pretty much works. There are some weird glitch spawns, but you know, it's not an Insurgency modded map if there aren't some glitches, right? So I think for these ports, this is a subjective opinion, but the ones that take the original game's map, like all the assets in the map and all the models and level geometry, and just straight up directly port it into Sandstorm versus the ones that try to do it from scratch using Sandstorm assets, I would say that the former does much better. So I've done some mapping, or you can call it level design or environment artistry or whatever whatever, if you like to get bullied. I would say that graphics are, you know, nice to have, right? If you're going for a photorealistic look, but they are way less important than style. Just having a cohesive style. You see a lot of these trailers for remakes of classic games, 2022 or whatever, 2023, 2024, doesn't fucking matter. Unreal Engine 5. Amazing, and they get millions of views with people in the comments saying they're better when they're not. They're just Unreal Engine marketplace assets cobbled together into like a disgusting mishmash. Just because there's a bunch of volumetric lighting and ambient occlusion everywhere doesn't make the level look good. Does that make any sense? I don't know, but I just think this map goes to prove that point, that straight up ported from 2006 looks great in the Unreal Engine, looks amazing, and it plays great, which is a plus as well. So for this last map, which is definitely my favorite one, it's called Mountain Pass. And you know right off the bat it's gonna be a banger because they give you the truck. I mean, that's how you know this guy wanted you to have fun. All right, now I don't know how mapping in the Unreal Engine is, but compared to all the other maps on Mod.io, this is definitely one of the best modded maps out there, on par if not better than the quality that shipped with the actual game. The surrounding area of this map, the inaccessible parts, really give this map great scenery. Like everywhere you look, you see these huge mountains everywhere. Really sets the tone, and it looks great. There's a mix of outdoor and indoor areas. As you can see on screen right now, the outdoor areas are amazing to look at, just gorgeous. Really nothing to complain about here. This map honestly looks and plays a lot better than the default Insurgency Sandstorm maps, many of them, the ones that ship with the game, the ones that professionals, quote unquote, made. So each point that you have to capture is placed in a unique setting. So it really lends to the variety of the map. You don't feel like you're always in the same place from point to point. It's not even just the outdoor areas that look good. The map ends in a indoor, like, kind of mansion. Yeah, just look at this final mansion point that you have to defend. Looks excellent. Masterpiece. The interior is actually really detailed. There's a lot of paintings and stuff everywhere. The map author clearly put a lot of time and effort. And honestly, just by the feel of it, there's no way of knowing for sure, but I feel like this map would work great as a versus map. So with Insurgency 2014, NWI actually made a lot of these contests trying to get new maps for the game. And since all the maps were PvP maps first, you actually ended up getting a lot of these great custom maps as PvP maps in the official game. But unfortunately, I don't think they've really done that for Sandstorm. I think they did it for one prison map, which is great. It's actually one of my favorite maps to play in Domination. But I would love to play this map, for example, in Domination. Just seems like they haven't taken that same opportunity, which is a shame. I really think this map is extremely high quality. Definitely deserves to be in the game proper. But we'll see. Come on, look at this stuff, man. Look at this stuff. This is what we could have had in Insurgency. This is what we could have had.